Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Shapeshifter trait, which is a trait that's typically just played as a tank trait, but can also be used as a carry trait as well. This is taken from a double up game played together with Headwinder, and we're specifically going to be looking at Shyvana as our featured unit in this video, although of course, since this is going to be a heavy Shapeshifter game, we will see some of all of the Shapeshifters throughout this matchup. Now, these games are taking place at Diamond ELO rating. We've played enough double up games to get reasonably close to the top of the ladder. I think this is in the top 1 to 2% of the player base here. We were trying to pick which portal we were going to go to, and we end up getting this one, Cast Fest. This one is one that causes charms to cost half of their normal value. So a charm that would normally cost 10 gold costs 5 gold to purchase instead. It makes it much easier to pick up the charms without killing your own econ in the process. I don't know if I've actually done a game with this one before. I think I've seen it as the option, but I don't know if I've ever actually had this picked as a possible choice before. So this is going to be a little bit different. Again, this doesn't change the gameplay too much. It just means that people are going to be kind of spam purchasing the charms because they're going to be less costly in this one. All right, here at the opening, I didn't really have a whole lot in particular in mind here. I was looking at the different options. I just got a pair of poppies so far. Anytime you see the initial poppy pair, in this patch, the immediate thinking is, well, maybe I can re-roll the Honeymancer units, the bees. I think the previous video I put up on YouTube features them. Although this video is going to get posted after the next patch comes out, so we'll see if the bee re-roll is still a thing then. Not sure if it's going to be or not, but I guess we'll find out. Mostly, I am just picking up various pairs to see if I can hit. So I am going to go ahead and hit the 2-star Poppy here. And Headwinder actually had a pretty decent setup to look to play the Honeymancer. So I'm going to send him the 2-star Poppy. And then I'm going to go ahead and I had this Shyvana in my store. I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Shyvana. And then Headwinder ended up making a 2-star Ash, so he's going to send that to me. So I was like, okay, you know, I've got a setup here. Maybe this can be some kind of an Eldritch plus Shapeshifter game here. Something like that. I kind of have the pieces to play something along those lines. I also have a Syndra and a Neela here, but then I get this on the initial augment. Shapeshifter Crest, gain a Shapeshifter emblem and a Shyvana. As soon as I see this, I was like, well, maybe I should look to play vertical Shapeshifters here. Like, I can play a little bit of Eldritch in the early game, but then I can look to go into heavy Shapeshifters later on. Again, Shapeshifters is typically played as a tank trait. As I said, it's one of, there's basically 3 frontline tank traits in this game. You have Shapeshifter and Bastion and Vanguard. Those are your 3 main frontline traits that you would be looking to play. But as I said, Shapeshifter can become a carry trait if you play long enough in this game. By the way, I actually have like too many units to play here. I decided that I definitely wanted to level here because I wanted to get Eldritch trait in. And I thought I would slap this Shapeshifter emblem onto the Neela. Shapeshifter emblems tend to be good on frontline units. So they're pretty good on like melee carries. They're not bad either. You could put this on any unit that's going to be, basically any unit that's going to be up there tanking on the front lines and absorbing damage. You don't really want to put this on like a backline unit. It's not really going to be that useful. I'm also trying to figure out what I should do with these items. I'm not exactly sure what to make with these. These items are a little bit awkward, but I do have a number of 2-star units. As I said, I have a 2-star Ash that came over from Headwinder. I have a 2-star, I don't have a 2-star Neela, but I do have a Neela with a Shapeshifter emblem. And I also have Eldritch trait, which is always good in the early game. It tends to fall off in the late game. So I have a pretty strong start here at the beginning of the game that I'll look to play through. By the way, I would not mind getting that Akali either, because that could potentially be Warrior and Multi-Striker, but I just don't have the gold to purchase the Akali, and I'm not going to lock my shop for the Akali. And then I hit the 2-star Neela, so I was like, okay, I have 2-star Ash, 2-star Neela, and I also have the Eldritch Golem in there, so this is going to be pretty good at the start of the game. Now if I could just figure out something to do with these items. All right, while we're sitting here, let's cover the Shapeshifter trait right here at the beginning of the video and specifically discuss what it does. I will read the official trait description here. Shapeshifters gain bonus max health. After their first ability cast, they triple this effect. So it's a trait that gives health. It is not a team-wide trait. Only the Shapeshifters get this. There have been tank traits in some of the past sets where they give extra health to themselves and then like also some additional health to the whole team. That is not the case here in set 12. Shapeshifters gain health for themselves, and then the benefit from the additional health triples when they cast their ability. This is particularly easy to see with Shyvana. When she goes into dragon form, she'll jump across the map, and you'll see her health bar gets bigger. It's more noticeable as you play deeper into the Shapeshifter trait. They get like noticeably more health. So I'll pick up this Elise here. And by the way, remember, Headwinder is re-rolling Honeymancer units, so I also need to pick up the Ziggs here. Although this is going to cost me an income breakpoint if I win this match, or this particular round, it's still worthwhile to do that. All right, so the Shapeshifter value, as you play deeper into the trait, the health bonus goes up by more. At Shapeshifter 2, it's only 10% more health. You might say 10% more health, that kind of stinks. Well, why should I care about that? But remember, it triples after they cast their ability, so it goes from 10% up to they get then 30% additional health. And that's a pretty big deal, 30% additional health, as you can imagine, after they cast their ability. So like in these fights, when you see Shyvana get her ability off, she's probably the easiest to see, although I guess Elise is not the hardest one to see either. Elise also gets the big health. And I guess Neela also, when she uses her ability, also increases her health by 30%. Anyway, I did win that round. I'm expecting to win streak here because I think my initial setup here is pretty strong. So I'm hoping I can win streak through the early game. I do wish I was at 10 gold, but I need to hold that Ziggs for Headwinder, and I don't want to sell my Shyvana pair or Elise pair. I also really need to do something with these items. I was trying to wait and see what I could get off of this carousel and try to go from there. Now, we were hoping that Headwinder could get the tier, because remember, he's playing the B reroll, and you really want a blue buff for Ziggs. So he was able to get the tier, and it's on a Nico, which is great, because if he can send me the Nico, then I have 4 Shapeshifters in, so I would be pretty happy to get that. Now, out of the leftover options here, I go ahead and grab the vest, and that's going to be used for some kind of tank item. I was considering doing a Sunfire cape, but I have less of a need for a Sunfire cape in this game, and that's because I'm going to be planning on playing into the Dragon trait, and Dragon trait's kind of one of the properties of when you have Dragon trait in is you innately burn the enemy team. By the way, here I don't have another Shapeshifter. I have not found a Jace, and I also don't have a Nico yet, so I would prefer to play 4 Shapeshifter, but that's not an option. So we'll put in a Kali because she's going to give us the warrior trait for the Neela, and she also gives us multi-striker, or gives us another rank of multi-striker. So if I can find one more multi-striker, I could get that trait in as well. So she's just a useful unit to play here, basically as a trait bot, but still as a useful unit to have. This other player here is playing into the Pyro trait, and that's kind of bad because I'm also going to be going into the Pyro trait as well. You can see they're also playing Shyvana. They put their Pyro emblem on a 2-star Elise. Elise is obviously holding items for probably a Varus later on, which is a little bit weird because I'm pretty sure Elise deals magic damage. Let me just double check that. Elise deals... no, she just deals... Okay, she actually does not deal physical or magic damage. Her ability stuns the target. Oh, no, it does deal magic damage. Never mind. I was misreading it there. Yeah, so it's a little bit weird to put that on her. She might not be the best target to put those items on. But in any case, we get the send round back again. Also, there's a Karma in my shop at 2% odds. Why couldn't that be like a Nasus or a Varus instead? That would be awesome. So I can't quite use that. But anyway, because I hit the 2-star Elise, I'm going to go ahead and use my item remover. And I'll go ahead and put some tank items on her. I'm going to go ahead and make Redemption, which I think is the best way to make use of a tier. I really have very little use for tiers in this composition. And the Redemption is a pretty good item here because remember, Redemption heals for, I believe, percentage of max HP every time it ticks. And what does this team composition get? Yeah, it gets a lot of health. It gets a lot of health. So Redemption's a pretty good item to have here. Especially if it can be healing more than 1 unit at a time if they're standing next to each other. So anyway, I am able to beat the initial player, and then another player comes over here as well. But Headwinder is also on the board. It's a 2v2, and that's significant because we're actually able to end that player's win streak while keeping my win streak going, so that's pretty nice. Now, there are basically 2 ways you can play a vertical Shapeshifter comp. One is to stay at level 6 for a while and try to reroll for Shyvana 3-star. You can try to play for Shyvana 3-star, Elise 3-star, Namzi 3-star. Namzi is a unit you typically will want to play because it gets Dragon trait on the board. So that's one way you can run this. And that is stronger in the mid game, but then it gets weaker at the end of the game. It doesn't cap out as high. The somewhat riskier way to play the board is you do not reroll at low levels. You push to higher levels, and you look to play 6 Shapeshifters while getting in a bunch of 4 and 5 cost units. By the way, there's a Jace, so I can hold on to that. By the way, there's also a bow, which is really nice because I want to make a Rage Blade on this board. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I can potentially also look to make a Steadfast Heart, which is a great tank item. I also, well, go ahead and choose the Minor Wish because that's free. Apparently, I got extra health on Neela and the Shyvana up there. And then I'll go ahead and level and play the Akali because I'm on full win streak. I'm trying to maintain win streak. Anyway, to get back to the previous point. So as I said, you can look to reroll for like 1 and 2 cost units. Try to 3-star the try to 3-star like Namzi and Shyvana and Elise. And I guess Jace as well, you could potentially do that. Or alternately, you can push to higher levels and just try to play a lot of 4 and 5 cost units, because the way that this board caps out its highest is you play 6 Shapeshifters. And in addition to that, you also look to play Smolder, who gets Dragon Trait in with Shyvana. So you play Smolder, who's a 5 cost. You play Briar, who's also a 5 cost. And Briar is quite strong in this patch. Briar with like 6 Shapeshifter in becomes very, very strong. She becomes like the late game carry that takes over. And then you also play Varus because you want to get Pyro trait in. You can play that together with the 4-cost Shapeshifter, which is Nasus. So that's the other way to play this. And the board is very, very strong if you can hit all those units. But again, it's a lot of very expensive units. Smolder, Briar, Varus, Nasus. Like, that's a lot of expensive units to have in the board. So that's what I'm going to be going for here in this game. And I think that I'm able to do that because I think I'm in a position to potentially win streak here. I'm also going to go ahead and take this, the +1 team size. Note that I do also get a duplicator. So I will hold on to that. I will also hold on to the Jace. There is the possibility to look to play 8 Shapeshifters in this game as well. That requires an emblem because there are only 7 Shapeshifter units in the game. Normally, you would not have enough space to play that, and normally it would not be worthwhile because you have to play units like Elise, who's a 1 cost, and Jace, who's a 1 cost. You don't really want to be playing those units in the late game because they're not very good. However, in this game with the +1 team size and a Shapeshifter crest, it actually is realistically possible to play 8 Shapeshifters. So I'm going to potentially look to go in that direction. And as I said, I'm not going to be re-rolling for Shyvana 3-star, but I will hold additional Shyvanas because you never know. I might be able to. It is early in the game and I already have 4 of them, so it's worthwhile to try to grab these. Now, when I hit the 2-star Shyvana, I went ahead and transferred my tank items from the Elise over to the Shyvana, and this was when I realized that maybe Redemption is not the greatest item to put on Shyvana. Remember, when Shyvana uses her ult, she dashes into the middle of the enemy team, so she's not really going to be healing the rest of my team when she does that. So I was like, yeah, this might not be the ideal unit to put this on. By the way, this fight's going to be relatively close, but I do end up losing it. That person has Portal in, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 2-star units, and they had the support golem over there. And they had then they're running a vertical portal composition. So I was like, oh my god, they have so many 2-star units. Even with Headwinder's help, I wasn't able to win this. And then look at this. I find this early Callista on my board. I was like, what? Callista? I've already seen 3 Karmas. So I really wish I was playing a Chrono or Incancer team composition. I can't really use Karma on my board. But I will play the Callista on my board. That actually makes Multi-Striker trait. Now, I had to take out the Namzi to do that. But I do have a Multi-Striker trait in, and I just have this random Callista. So in the best TFT fashion, you have to play what you hit. I will use Callista as a transition unit, and with the intention of dropping this unit later on. So now I kind of wish that I hadn't used my item remover to pull the items off of the Elise and put them on Shyvana, in part because, as I said, Shyvana dashes into the back line and then her redemption is almost useless. But also because then I could pull the Rage Blade off of Ashe and put it on the Callista over there. By the way, it looks like I just barely lose this fight, but the benefit of having friends. Headwinder comes over. By the way, Headwinder's being contested by this person who already has a 3-star Ziggs. That person actually took Worth the Wait, which gives you a random 1-cost champ like every single round. And apparently he just got Ziggs. So that person has also gone Ziggs as well. So Headwinder's being contested, which is going to make it a little bit tougher for him to hit. But he's hit enough, basically. He's kind of hit enough So he's still win streaking over there, and that's great because that can help keep us afloat. Again, I leveled early to 6 to try to maintain win streak. I did win one of those rounds, but then lost the following one, which is a bit unfortunate. So what am I looking for right now? Well, I'm trying to get, I kind of have enough tank items, so I'm trying to get some additional damage items. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this bow, which is nice because I can combine it together with the glove on my bench. And I can go ahead and use it to make a Last Whisper. That's going to be really important on this board because this board is going to do mostly physical damage. It might seem like it's doing mostly magic damage right now, but in the late game, the main damage dealers are going to be Varus and Smolder and Briar, and all three of them deal physical damage. So I really want a Last Whisper, and I'd like to put it on Varus because he will apply it really well. I'm actually having Ashe hold items for 2 different champions. The Rage Blade will go on Smolder eventually. As you see, we do the double up gift round. The Rage Blade will go to Smolder eventually because Rage Blade is a really bad item on Varus. But then the Last Whisper will go on Varus because he can apply it quite well. I mean, the Last Whisper's not bad on Smolder either, but I think I'd prefer to have it on Varus because I think he can apply it a little bit better. And that Shapeshifter crest is intended to go on Smolder long term. Like, Neela's holding it for now. I also am going to get another Shyvana Send. I could have gotten a Swain from Headwinder. That was also a possibility. He said he would be willing to send me a Swain to potentially play 6 Shapeshifters, but I was looking at that and I was like, I'm only playing 4 Shapeshifter right now. I'm not really looking to play 6 Shapeshifter. I don't think the Swain really helps me that much. Just give me another 1-star Shyvana. That gets me up to 5. I'll just continue trying to make progress towards this unit. Now, I think that I would win this fight, but it becomes a moot point when Headwinder comes in. Headwinder's board's been really strong all through the mid-game. I'm kind of surprised at just how well he's been doing, given that he is not playing. Actually, I probably would have lost this without Headwinder. Never mind. That Rumble, this person has the Rumble carry augment, and that Rumble was actually really strong. So yeah, there I'm going to get another one of these. And then I do find a Nasus, so I was like, all right, definitely put the Nasus on the board. Got to be better than something on there right now. And the only unit I can actually take out is the Nico, but I will not mind doing that. It's also a gift round, and I'm going to take 2 components. I'm actually pretty happy with what I got here. We can do Gargoyle Stoneplate, and then now we're a sword away from Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, which are Varus's best items. And let's get that Nasus on the board because he's going to put Pyro trait in play with the Akali. Again, another reason why Akali's been nice to play on this. I'm actually hitting, I believe, I'm hitting all 3 of Akali's traits. She's giving me Multi-Striker, she's giving me Pyro, and she's giving me Warrior. So even though Akali is like not really doing a whole lot on her own, she's been a fantastic trait bot in this game. This is nice because we can start getting some Pyro stacks in play. Again, I'm not ever expecting to get too many Pyro stacks, and we're never going to go beyond Pyro 2 in this game, but it will not hurt just to get some additional attack speed. If we get like 10% additional attack speed for the whole team, that is very worthwhile to have. I think that requires like 20-something cinders, so we'll see if we can do that. And, again, I lost that one round, but other than that, I've been kind of hanging in there. Again, my board has just been econing all throughout this stage, so I do expect my board to fall off. Again, this is a board that's strong in the early game when I'm getting the Eldritch. There we go. I actually got a lot of cinders there. That was like 4 cinders just there. But again, this board is strong in the early game, and it's strong in the late game if you can hit the 4 and 5 costs, but it is pretty weak in the mid game because, I mean, look at my setup. I'm playing through like an Ashe here. Like, who's my carry? It's an Ashe. Okay, and then 2-star Shyvana is holding my tank items. Now, again, that's not bad, but 2-star Shyvana was really good in stage 2, good in stage 3, will be falling off pretty hard in stage 4. So, yeah, and I'm going to get another Akali. That's another 2. That'll be enough for a 2-star Akali, so that's fine. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and level. And normally I would roll a little bit here, look to stabilize. But again, I need to hit 4 and 5 cost units. I have to get 4 and 5 costs. So I'm going to look to just push to level 8 and then ideally roll as little as possible on level 8 because I am basically playing a very greedy game here. I'm also going to go ahead and reforge this, and I'm pretty happy with that. We'll go ahead and do Steadfast Heart. There we go. So I'm very happy with my tank items. Redemption, Gargoyles, Steadfast Heart. These are really good tank items to put on Shapeshifters. Remember, Shapeshifters get tons and tons of health from their ability, so they really want lots of additional armor and magic resistance, and that's what these things are giving me. This fight is reasonably close. I was able to level and put Namzi on the board, so now I have a Dragon trait in play. As a quick refresher on Dragon trait, at Dragon 2, Dragon attacks and abilities burn and wound enemies, so that's why I don't really need like a Sunfire Cape or a red buff in this game. I innately will be burning and wounding the enemy team. And then at Dragon 3, which requires Smolder, all Dragon abilities get upgraded. They do have additional effects, deal additional damage. So, as I said, last augment here, it's Silver. I definitely don't need Blistering Strikes because I'm going to be playing Dragon trait. And out of these options here, I think it's Silver Veil. Silver Veil is always better if you're running like more of a melee setup. And that's just because the melee units are have more of a need for protection from crowd control. So a lot of my units are melee units, and so it's going to be more valuable for me to have the Silver Veil in this game. Again, it is a silver augment, so it's not going to be like super impactful overall. But I think that was probably the best option of what I had available. And again, we're just econing here. Again, I'm expecting to lose some of these rounds. I'm leaning on Headwinder's board to be strong here, and also on the fact that we banked all that health. Like we had 90 health coming into stage 4, so I can afford to play greedier. If we were down at like 35 HP, I would have to be rolling here, and I'd actually be in a lot of trouble because I really need to get up to level 8 and level 9 to hit these 4 and 5 cost units. I also don't love the fact that I'm being contested by that Pyro player, who Pyro tends not to get played that much, but like that person's taking Varuses out of the pool, and they'll grab any Smolders they can find. They're going to take Narcissus out of the pool. So yeah, this is probably the strongest board in the lobby. I've had a lot of trouble dealing with this board. That was the board that I was going to lose to the last time I hit this, and Headwinder had to come over. And oh no, that was the board I lost to on stage 3. So it's been consistently causing problems for me. So yeah, we only get 2 Cinders that time, not quite as nice. I was able to grab a Tom Kench for Headwinder's board. That was the unit he said. You might have seen I picked up a Nunu, but then sold it. He said he's not going for Nunu 3-star this game. He has the Poppy, the Blitzcrank, and the Ziggs 3-star, but he said he would not go for the Nunu. And I'm just going to continue being patient here, not trying to get antsy. It's probably my biggest weakness in TFT is I tend to get antsy when I start losing health and start spending gold before I really need to do so. But I'm trying to play patiently here in this game. I'm up against the other B board. This person who's got they have 3-star Cog and 3-star Ziggs. Yes, they're playing into the B units. Again, the potential is still there. I can definitely get up. If I can get to level 8, I can put the 8 Shapeshifters in. I could take out one. I could probably take out the Namzi. I don't think Dragon Trait's doing that much for me. I could take out the Namzi and play 8 Shapeshifters. But you see, I'm definitely losing these rounds. They're not especially close. The 1-star Callista is not really doing a whole lot. Her items are not that great. She doesn't have Fairy Trait in. So like, Callista's doing some work, but like not quite enough. So I'm going to go 8 here. I do need to roll a little bit. I can't just go straight to level 9. That's a little bit too risky. I'll go level 8 here and look to pick up some more units. I'd like to try to find Varus. I'd like to try to find more Narcissus. If I could somehow find a Briar or a Smolder, that would be amazing. I was looking to see if either one was on this carousel. Neither one is there, unfortunately. I know Headwinder was looking for a Zareth, but that gets snapped up. And I take the sword because that allows me to complete this Rage Blade plus Infinity Edge plus Last Whisper combo, which again is going to get split up amongst multiple units. So I'm hoping I won't have to be sticking around with Ashe much longer. All right, I am going to hit the additional Nico, so that's fine. Now let's go ahead and see what we can roll. So I find Diana. That's not the 5 cost I want, unfortunately. That's a bit of a disappointment. I was looking to see if either of us could play it, but no. So there's Swain. So we'll play him and Jace. That gets us the 8 Shapeshifters. I should actually play Nico because I have a 2-star Nico over that. I wonder if I remember to do that. I think I remember to play that over the Jace. Yeah, there we go. Definitely a much better unit. And I'm also up to 7 Shyvanas, and I guess we'll pick up an additional Namzi. And there's an additional Callista, so I am playing Callista for right now. I mean, if I hit 2-star Callista, I might feel confident to go level 9 with this board, because I do need to get to level 9. But right now, I do not think this board is strong enough. The 6 Shapeshifters will help. I don't know if it's enough to win this fight against the Rumble Carry Augment Preserver board, but it definitely will help. I mentioned before, 2 Shapeshifters is 10% health, and then they triple the effect. Well, 4 Shapeshifters is 16%. 6 Shapeshifters is 24%. So the Shapeshifters all get 24% additional health, and then that triples after they cast their ability. So that gets them basically like 75% additional health. Also, look at this, gain a lesser champion duplicator. So as soon as I see this, I was like, Headwinder, can you just send me the Shyvana over there? Now, unfortunately, I don't have bench space. And then I sell the Jace, which turns out to be kind of a mistake. I needed to hold that Jace, because if I'm ever going to play into 8 Shapeshifters, I will need another Jace. But oh, here we go. I'm going to get Smolder, and that's what I was looking for. So now we can drop the Callista, now we can drop the Ashe, and now I can start to move some of these items onto Smolder. Almost put that on the Namzi. Did not want that on the Namzi. So that's really nice. And now the one unit I need, and need very badly, is I need to get Varus on my board, because Varus needs to hold the Infinity Edge Last Whisper. If I can find one Varus, I can put those items on him, and then I'll be good to go. But I was able to hit the 3-star Shyvana, and that's a big deal, because a 3-star Shyvana with 6 Shapeshifter and these tank items is going to be a very strong unit. She's going to be able to tank like forever. And because we have Dragon 3 in, she's going to be more powerful too, because she's going to get her Dragon abilities upgraded by virtue of having the 3 Dragon trait. And by the way, Smolder flying around just hitting people with his Rage Blade is pretty funny back there. Also need to get Varus, because that'll put Blaster trait in for Smolder as well. So while we have a minion round here, let's go ahead and cover what Shyvana's ability does, because she's kind of the featured unit in this video. Again, traits are Dragon and Shapeshifter, which we're hitting both in this video. Ability costs 70 mana. When she casts, transforms into Dragon form, gains an aura that deals magic damage per second to adjacent enemies, then fly through the largest group of enemies and stun them. The Dragon upgrade doubles the size of the aura, and it deals additional damage as well. So at a 3-star unit, she is going to be doing a lot of damage over there. And she's going to be very, very hard to kill. Again, it's still a little bit awkward that she is not really making good use of the redemption, but I guess it helps heal her, if nothing else. Alrighty, so again, I really just need to find one Varus. I pick up this Morg, but it turns out I can't really play her in this game. So can I just find one Varus? I really want to find one Varus. Oh, there it is. Never mind, I did end up finding one. I guess I found him a little bit earlier there. So out of these leftover items, remember, we still have a duplicator. We can still pull an item from our component anvil. So I was like, sword, perfect. We moved this Shapeshifter emblem over to Smolder, and that allowed me to get... now Smolder is going to be getting the tremendous amount of bonus health. That's good, because Smolder flies around in the middle of the enemy team. He tends to get focused a lot, but now Smolder has like 2,000 health, so it's going to be much harder for Smolder to die. And now my goal is to get to level 9, because I'm still playing the Akali on this board. The Akali definitely needs to come out. I can do way better than that. And I want to get the Akali out, and what I want to do is put in 2 more Shapeshifters. I want to put in the Swain, and then I also want to get Briar on the board as well. Or did I manage to find? No, I still need to find Briar as well. But I would really like to get up to 8 Shapeshifters overall. So what I can do... Oh, no, never mind. I have Swain on the board already. So what I need to do is I need to get to level 9. I want to find Briar, and then I want to put in Jace, and that'll get me to the 8 Shapeshifters. So now I was really like, really wish I hadn't sold that Jace when my bench was full, because now I have to find Jace, and it's going to be hard to find him at level 8 or level 9, but I need Jace for 8 Shapeshifters. I mean, I could play like a random additional unit. Like, I guess I could throw like an Olaf on the board for Hunter trait, or I don't know, I could technically play like I guess I could play a Morgana for Witchcraft trait with the Nico. Like, that wouldn't be bad, but I think the 8 Shapeshifter is the way to go here, because 8 Shapeshifter is a chase trait that's really hard to make, and it's very, very powerful. By the way, Shyvana's in the backline, like burning this entire team. Remember how much trouble I had with this team before? This is the one that I lost my win streak to back on stage 3. Yeah, all of a sudden, now that I have 3-star Shyvana and I have Dragon 3 in, plus the 6 Shapeshifters, my board's actually gotten quite strong. So I'm still looking to see if I can find a Briar. I've actually found quite a few 5 costs, but I've not found that Briar yet. Again, the goal is get to level 9. We want to find those units we're missing, and then to cap out this board, I need Smolder 2-star, Briar 2-star, Varus 2-star. Again, those are very expensive, difficult to find units, but if I hit them all, my board's going to be like ungodly powerful with this setup. We also have so much health bank that if I find a Briar, I can start feeding Briar. Briar's passive ability is you can spend health, your player health, the tactician health, so that the unit has additional health on the board. And that's extremely powerful in a vertical Shapeshifters composition. I think Briar gets... Hold on, let me look up on the cheat sheet. Briar, when you feed her... here in Double Up, you pay 2 health for Briar's ability. And how much is it? I'm trying to find this on the cheat sheet specifically. Oh, here it is. 180 health. In single player mode, you pay 3 health. In Double Up, you play 2 health, which is actually more because you have a shared life bar. But she gains 180 base health each time that happens. As you can imagine, that 180 base health then gets like doubled after she casts her ability. So you do that 4 times. She gains like 700 health, and then that doubles. So you get almost 1500 health. Obviously, I'm spitballing the numbers here, but you can see that gets really powerful really fast. Now, on this carousel here, I'm looking for an item that I can take. There's not really that much I want for my current units, but I'm hoping to find a Briar. So we're going to start taking Briar items, and Sterix is one of her best items. Briar is a melee carry, so items that are good on melee frontliners are always good on her. Bloodthirster, Sterix, Titan's Resolve, Quicksilver Sash, all those things are pretty good on her. So we'll take this with the intention of putting on Briar. I do have an item remover, so I can technically slap this on someone else. It actually would be a solid item on Nasus, at least for the time being. I guess I could put it on Varus too, but he's a backliner and he doesn't have Shapeshifter trait, so it's not going to be that useful. Headliner had the gift round here, and he ends up taking the artifact item, if I remember correctly. And I believe he actually gets something pretty decent. And oh, there we go. Well, Briar, right on time, right as I get an item for Briar, she suddenly pops up in the store. So I was like, okay, I will definitely play you. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Sterix. And do I remember to feed Briar? Oh, never mind. She gains 250 health. Okay. I swear that she only gained, the cheat sheet said she only gained 180 health. But I will use the in-game information over what the cheat sheet said. Maybe they adjusted this and the cheat sheet hadn't been updated yet. So Briar's going to get 250 health. Remember, that goes up by 75% after she casts her ability. So that goes up to almost 500 health after she casts. Now, this fight's pretty close, but it looks like I don't have quite enough. That was the person who has the Poppy Witchy Wallop. But they are on 1 HP over there. 1 HP. And in fact, there's actually 2 teams in the lobby, and now there's 3 teams in the lobby on 1 health. So some of these teams have to get knocked out. I was actually kind of waiting for one of them to get knocked out. I'm also going to pay for the Eldritch Dragon coming over here, because it only costs 5 gold. Normally this costs a lot more, but it's cheaper here. This is also the second half of the gift round for double up, so I will go ahead and get Briar. A Titan's Resolve, again, perfect item. Now, if I could just get a Bloodthirster, she would have what is considered to be perfect items. I'm also not quite sure where to put this this dragon that I have on my board. So technically, I have 4 dragons on my board this round. I have the Smolder, the Namzi, the Shyvana, and I also have this whatever dragon, the Elder Dragon from League of Legends. But again, all these teams are on 1 HP, so one of them is going to have to get knocked out. Again, I've been continuing to play patient here. Because we've had so much health, I have not needed to roll this down. Because I hit the Smolder and the Varus and the Briar, I don't think I need to like panic roll on level 8. We're going to go level 9, and we'll roll it down on level 9. And let's see, can we beat this team? It looks like this team is on the fake 1 HP. You can see their health bar is not actually red. If the health bar is red, they go out on a loss. But it is not actually red. By the way, I definitely would have beaten this person, but then their partner comes over. And this is going to be close, but it's not quite enough. So 2 out of the 3 teams got knocked out in the lobby that turn. And now it's down to just us and one other team. So down to just us and one other team remaining. I'll grab the Nami because I am at 2 out of 3 Eldritch. If I cannot get the 8 Shapeshifter in, then I will look to play the Nami for 3 Eldritch. But again, 8 Shapeshifter I think is way better here. I still have a Duplicator as well. I got the Duplicator for my Prismatic Augment. I've been holding it the whole game ever since stage 3 too. But I'm hoping to use it on a 4 or 5 cost. I'm hoping to use it on particularly Smolder or Briar. But I could also use it on Varus if I have trouble finding the Varus. The other Pyro player just got knocked out, though, so their Varuses are going to go back in the pool. And look at this, a Varus just popped out of the orb here as well. So this is going to be a busy turn. I've got a lot to do. First, I find a Xerath. That's the unit that Headliner was looking for, so I'm going to send that. We're going to go to level 9. We'll put the Nami on the board. Now I'm rolling to see what I can hit. I've got a good charm. I'll go ahead and take that. There's another Smolder. So we'll take that. There's Smolder 2-star. Okay. I won't need to use the Duplicator for that now. I also managed to 2-star the Nami. And there we go. There's 2-star Varus. There's 2-star Swain. So right now I'm telling Headliner, send me a Jace. He actually found a Jace. He's like, you want a 1-cost 1-star Jace? I was like, yes. Give me the Jace. And so he's going to use his send on a 1-cost 1-star Jace, but that was the unit I needed because it's going to put Shapeshifter trait in play. And look what's here. There's a Bloodthirster here for Briar. Now, I forgot to feed Briar. There was enough going on that round. I did not manage to feed Briar, but she's going to have Bloodthirster, Titans, Sterix, and an 8 Shapeshifter board. We are just annihilating this player. If you're curious about what 8 Shapeshifter does, the health bonus goes up to 30% health. So 30% health, then triples after they cast. So the units gain 90% health after casting, and you get 3% health regen every 2 seconds. So Shapeshifters also regen health at a crazy rate once you have 8 Shapeshifter in. So this is just a really ridiculous trait. And I'm just looking for the Briar now. Can I find that last Briar? I have a duplicator. So if I can find one more Briar, I'm going to sell the Nikos. I'm seeing a lot of 5 cost. There it is. Boom, there we go. And now I'm going to feed the Briar. Briar now has like 6,000 health with perfect items in an 8 Shapeshifter board. And I have 2-star Namzi, I have 2-star Smolder and 2-star Varus and 2-star Nasus. And I have 3-star Shyvana. This board is absolutely out of control. This is one of the strongest boards I've built in set 12, and I could not be happier with how this came together. So I am just absolutely annihilating this other team. Briar is just feasting on the enemy backline, and that was a strong board, but like I made it look like it was weak. I made it look like it wasn't even there. So we're going to tear through that, and we're going to wrap this one up. Kudos to Headwinder, was an awesome partner in this game, found a lot of really key units. I really love the fact that Headwinder was able to find that Jace, and it just really speaks to the importance of communication. Sometimes the unit that you need in double up is not a 4-cost unit. Like Headwinder had a 2-star Varus. He was like, don't you want like a 2-star Varus? We actually could have gone for 3-star Varus if we wanted to, but no, the unit I needed was the Jace because I stupidly sold that one earlier. That allowed me to get the 8 Shapeshifters in, and they just, again, steamrolled the other team. So this was an absolute blast, and I really love putting this team composition together. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, hope everybody's having a great week. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.